Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. I love that. It's a good line.
That's a great line.
I was watching it earlier and heard that in the background. I was like, man, people use it all the time for like Twitch streams and things like that. It sounds just
right?
like it. Like, yeah,
this movie that we are going to talk about for our Christmas extravaganza is so quotable. We're not going to tell you what we're talking about yet. You'll have to be in suspense.
That's right.
You'll have to be in suspense.
Here's a hint. I'm just kidding.
Well, here's the hint, too.
That's a good hint. Yeah, that's a better hint.
Just a bit of a hint. But speaking of hints, what's up, Matches?
What's up, Shannon? It's a day like any other day, except for it's Christmas.
That's right. It's Christmas, which means Moss Christ, which more Christing. I love Christmas. It's Christmas. And as you watch this, it's Christmas Eve. So hopefully you're gathering around your little computer or your TV with YouTube capabilities, and you're watching this with your family. Hopefully.
I love it. This beautiful, beautiful picture in my head. Thank you, Shannon.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, drinking your eggnog, or as I do, Mountain Dew instead. Do you like eggnog?
Honestly, I didn't used to, but I kind of like to sip it now. I don't like to just go ham on it. You know,
right.
Like,
you cannot go.
A little sip is all I need.
Well, it depends. Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Well, non-alcoholic usually, but I don't mind alcoholic. It's fine. I like an adult beverage every now and then.
Adult beverage. I do too. That's why I drink Mountain Dew Voltage. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm not an eggnog fan. Not an eggnog fan.
Yeah,
in fact, every year
I get it.
I share the recipe on Facebook. How to make eggnog. Take it out of the fridge. Throw it in the trash.
I worked at the Siren Coffee place once, and got used to their eggnog lattes at the holidays, and it was really good. Yeah, that's how I kind of got into it, I think. Yeah.
Nice. I just wonder if they tried other fruits or vegetables with this. You know, how about a broccoli nog? Ugh, no, I don't know.
Ooh, fruitcake nog. Thank you. I might try that.
The gift that keeps on giving. I have a theory. There is one fruitcake in the world, and it just keeps getting passed around.
Maybe. Yeah. See, like fruit and cake go together. You can make like peach and cream cheese flavored like muffins with peach pieces in it, or you can do a fruity cake that tastes good. Why do they make them not good? How do they mess it up so bad?
It used to work with.
Why doesn't it need refrigeration or something? Like,
because if it doesn't, it kind of turns into this evil creature that is bent on world domination. Is my theory.
Okay,
and that's why we keep passing it around. We're saving the world. That's fine. Speaking of theories, everybody, you are listening and watching to what podcast? Matches? Dun, 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 dun.
It's the NOMS podcast, Shannon. And
that's right. Woo! Ho,
yeah, we're nerding out with.
Ho.
That's right, nerding out with Matches and Shannon. I got my Santa cap on. I got my Gregory shirt on. What is his name? Little baby Yoda.
It's Greg.
Greggy.
It's baby Yoda. Yeah, I don't care what they said on that season. It's baby Yoda.
I know. Doesn't matter if it's Yoda or not.
That's right. I got my Nakatomi Plaza Christmas party shirt on, so we're going to get down like we're on 40 stories of pure adrenaline, because tonight or today on NOMS, we are talking about Siskel and Ebert's review of maybe not just the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You don't have to think it's a Christmas movie, but it's probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest action film of all time. One of the most influential, one of the most quotable, one of the most huggable and lovable. What movie is it? Matches!
Die Hard.
Oh, yeah. A movie in which my mom thought that the lead character, John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, would actually die. This is a quote she said. She's like, oh, Lord, he's going to die. I think he's going to die. I'm like, Mom, he's the main character, but it says Die Hard. The title is Die Hard, baby.
It wasn't even just watching through the thing. It was the title. Well, he has to. He's a die.
Well, it was towards the end when, things were getting real critical and things were getting very dicey. She's like, oh, he's going to die. It's Die Hard.
Yeah. And I'm always kind of taken aback when I see, like, I know he has the hair in this movie, but it's like, it throws me off. It completely throws me off. It's like he needs to be bald. He's bald, right? I don't know.
Well, by the time we get to A Good Day to Die Hard, which I never saw and I heard wasn't very good, he's completely bald. So it's an evolution.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, was he not bald for 3? Die Hard with a Vengeance?
he might. I feel like he had a little bit of stubble. You know,
a little bit of stubble.
It was a hot summer in the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
One of them had to be bald. One of them couldn't be. It was like a rule.
Yeah. Good Day to Die Hard was 2017. Is that right? Something like that.
A little bit earlier than that. Maybe 2013.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I never saw it either. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself
to. The Russians. I know. And the first four are great. So Die Hard is one of those movies that spawned an action franchise. And by the time it gets going to the later entries, you know, it's kind of running through the motions. But the original, the first one, the Die Hard, one of the greatest action epics of all time. Would you agree?
It's true. And it probably spun off one of the greatest TV series of all time, Family Matters. No one knows that. No one knows that but me. You
have stolen my joke.
Did I?
I shall get revenge for this. You stole my joke. Yes, it spun off into Family.
It was low hanging fruit, Shannon. It's okay.
It was. Right there. Well, okay. He's referring to Reginald Vell Johnson, who, of course, in Family Matters plays everyone's favorite dad cop. What's his name?
In which one?
In Family Matters. Sorry.
He's Carl. What's her last name?
Winslow. Carl Winslow.
Winslow. That's it. Yeah.
Witherspoon. And in Die Hard, he plays, I guess you could say, Bruce Wilson's sort of sidekick. He's the police officer that's really trying to help him outside the building named Al.
I like his name in Die Hard because it's Al Powell. It sounds like he's Al Powell.
It is Al Powell. Yeah. But here's the thing. Reginald Vell Johnson made the 80s career out of playing cops because he was also in a very blink and miss it tiny roles of cop in Ghostbusters. And you probably do that.
Oh, I think I forgot that. But he's always playing a cop of some sort.
And I think you're right. I think it's the same character. I think he was so traumatized by the events of Die Hard, he moved his family to a small suburb in Chicago and changed the name.
Even if the years don't quite line up, do they? I don't remember, but...
No, maybe not. Do you think she was pregnant with Judy? And then, she went to clean her room and was never seen again?
Something like that, yeah. Was there a spinoff of Family Matters, though? Because I know Perfect Strangers was before Family Matters.
That's what I was about to say. Family Matters was spun off of Perfect Strangers, actually. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, great show.
Speaking of ridiculous. Great. Oh, I love Perfect Strangers. Never not funny. We are in Deep Sheep Dip. Speaking of, the character John McClane is in Deep Sheep Dip. We're going to talk about this great movie.
Yeah.
But as usual every week, we don't do it by ourselves, do we, Matches?
We don't. We have the help of a couple of old school critics. Siskel and Ebert.
Gangster critics.
Yeah. I love Siskel and Ebert. They were so good. They made my Sunday afternoons, like every Sunday afternoon. I mean, I would just watch and watch
wasn't complete without watching. Exactly.
It's true, yeah. They just had everyone's attention. Yeah.
They truly
You never got to watch the whole episode, would you say?
Oh, no. Sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I'd get in the middle or towards the end. But at the end of the show, you remember they'd always recap. He's like, the movies we talked about were, Jaws to Revenge, thumbs down.
Yeah, they had their little thumbs in each corner or whatever, like this. Yeah, whatever it was. Thumbs. Yeah.
I loved it when they were split.
Yeah. They look neat. They're symmetrical that way. Or I can't do it. Where's my camera? I think I'm backwards.
Why are you using $10 words? It's Christmas.
Yeah, oh gosh. It's mirrored again. Oh no.
So you got it on the wrong side. I wanted to make sure everyone could see my shirt. That's why I mirrored. Yeah. So, but it's still confusing.
Well, I mean,
sitting. Yeah.
I can still read it. I don't know. That's weird.
Nice.
I'm just broken as well.
Speaking of confusing, I'm gonna wager a guess that our boy Siskel, the bald eagle, I'm gonna guess he didn't like it. Too violent for him. Too much shooty gun.
I'm going to say that it's not violent for him. I think it's going to say there's enough story in this to make it work.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. I think Ebert's really going to like it. And we did talk about how critics, not all critics fell in love with this movie right away. It took some reassessing after a few years. But
there's a lot of bias against Bruce Willis, I think. A lot of bias against Bruce Willis. And
in hindsight? Yeah. He is one of those stars who, like others we've talked about, like Chevy Chase and Mike Myers, who kind of got full of himself. Like he had the talent, but he also had the cockiness to go to it. It kind of attached itself like a barnacle of unfortunateness. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's go into Siskel and Ebert's review of the greatest Christmas movie of all time. It's a Christmas, I tell you.
Well, we would, but we haven't gotten past the intro yet.
Oh, okay.
We're not
what
in
else
the
is there
review.
to say?
I don't know. Do we have the official movie footage roll, B-roll camera? Okay. We're still in the intro.
Oh,
okay. Well, up next is our review and Siskel and Ebert's review of Die Hard.
God bless us, one and all.
No. Technical difficulties, folks. There we go.
Yummy.
Now we're in the review. Oh, yeah.
Now we're in the review. Oh, I was wrong. I didn't read the script. Sorry, buddy. Okay. I did not read the script.
No, that's what we like about this. We're off the cuff, you know.
That's right, man. Unleashed, out of control.
Absolutely.
No curfew. No curfew. All right, so we're going to go into the review of Siskel and Ebert talking about Die Hard. And at some point after this movie was released, years later, I don't think it was right away, this movie was categorized, I would say, probably at first tongue-in-cheek, as a Christmas movie. And during and
first
after
categorized?
Huh? No, after. What did I say? I can't.
Oh, after. Tonight. Okay. It's okay.
It's before Christmas. I'm so excited. I just can't talk about all of Twitter.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because there is a debate of whether or not it's a Christmas movie. I think it's a Christmas movie. It's not my favorite Christmas movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay. I mean,
I think that's
my list. It is my.
I know.
You think that's what? I'm sorry. You think that's what?
No, I said I know it's on your list.
How do you know? I know, and guess what? My wife, I don't think she loves the movie itself anyway, because she's not a huge action movie fan. She's got to have something else to hook her. You know, it's fine. She's very tired of hearing about the argument whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Me.
Yeah, I get it.
So I back off a little. Each Christmas. I just go, so I'm going to watch a movie if anyone wants to stay in the room. And they don't.
So back in 2018, I think, from Amazon, I got the Blu-ray of Die Hard, and the outside of it was a cardboard of a Christmas sweater. Did you see this?
Yeah, I've seen that. I have seen that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. I liked it.
Nice. People have reasons as to why this is a Christmas movie. Some of the reasons are there is Christmas music playing.
Yeah.
It's set on Christmas Eve. Yeah. And what kind of business? Okay, for those of you who don't know this movie, and there is a big office party happening at Nakatomi Towers.
Plaza.
They're celebrating a great year of, what's that?
Plaza.
Like that. Yeah. Tower, Plaza Tower. Nah.
We should know this.
We should know. But anyway, yeah, I think you can say it either way. I mean, my shirt says Nakatomi Plaza, so we'll say with that. And I don't even know what business they're in, but apparently the Nakatomi business was good this year, and they're celebrating a great year. They're having a fun little Christmas party. So but it's on Christmas Eve. I thought about that last night as I was watching it.
Yeah,
they're having all these people abandon their families.
I did find something. It was one of the best reasons for this being a Christmas movie I found before, and it's a bit from Reddit someone put. So I'll read it for you. All right, so this was based on how Lethal Weapon is set around Christmas, but it's not a Christmas movie,
right? Okay,
because in Die Hard, Christmas is central to the plot. For example, Lethal Weapon is not a Christmas movie because if you take Christmas out of the story, the plot doesn't change. It's just a movie that takes place at Christmas. But Christmas is central to the plot of Die Hard. Christmas is the whole reason that McClane flew to L.A. The company's Christmas party was the whole reason he was in the Nakatomi building at all. Christmas is also why Gruber and Co. took over the building that particular day, because all the top executives to the company whose vaults he was trying to break into would be there, and the rest of the building would be empty. They never had enough to take over every floor of the building if it had been any other time. Take Christmas out, Gruber's plan never stands a chance, and McClane would be on the other side of the country, never mind the same building. Boom.
That's
mic drop. Yeah.
Don't drop your mic. These are expensive. Don't drop your mic.
Oh no. Yeah, that's right. But no, but I think that's perfectly, it's a Christmas movie. And I think one of the stipulations, I can't remember who from, that was that it's still set at Christmas. Maybe the author of the book or something like that said that. I can't remember. But it had to be set at Christmas in the script when they were writing it. And from what I gathered from all this research was that it wouldn't be the same movie if they just shot the script note for note, because they did so much adding to it as they went along that it's a completely different movie, it seems like, from the script. Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
a lot more interesting things happen.
Well, for those of you who don't know, as Matches just spilled the coffee or spilled the eggnog, I was going to spoil it. No, it's okay. This is based on a book, which I did not even know till like 7 years ago that it was based on a book.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's Nothing Lasts Forever, 1979 novel. And like, it's let's see. Die Hard was based on the novel sequel to the film adaptation of The Detective, and the studio was obligated to offer the role to Frank Sinatra. Sinatra, 70 at the time, declined.
That is true. He was offered the role, and I do have a list of all the actors who were offered the role. That's another thing about this movie.
Ooh,
nobody wanted Bruce Willis because all he had done was Moonlighting, and Moonlighting was a huge show at the time.
And they did end up asking him, and he declined because of Moonlighting.
He didn't have the schedule. Yeah. But then Sybil Shepherd got pregnant, his co-star, and he had time because they were delaying shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks to the miracle of motherhood, we got Bruce Willis as John McClane. And I can't
It's true. And while he was finishing up Moonlighting, they said they got to make up other characters and show other scenes and stuff they wouldn't have had otherwise. So you've got more to the movie.
That's right.
Like,
Yes. And this movie is chock full of great characters. Not only do you have John McClane, who, at the time, action movies were very huge. You had Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Sorry about the language. You had all these great people. But I wouldn't say all their movies, but a lot of their movies, the hero kind of seemed invincible. Kind of like nothing could harm him. Because
it's true. Nothing could harm him.
Whereas, that's true. Arnold Schwarzenegger took down an entire village of evil people in Commando.
If they got shot, they were just like, meh.
Keep moving. To quote Jesse Ventura in Predator, I don't got time to bleed.
It's true, though. That's how they are. Yeah, he did. They all did.
So in this movie, they did. They had time. They just didn't want to take it. Time and a half. So John McClane in this movie is heroic, and he does things that normal human beings, probably wouldn't be able to do. But he's also very fallible. He's very scared. He doesn't want to be there, but he knows he's got to help people save the day because his wife is one of those people. And so he gets hurt and he takes risks. And the whole time he's like, one of the best lines of the movie, when he's crawling through the shaft, the air shaft, and he's like, come to the coast, have your laughs, get together, have your laughs.
That's right. Yeah.
But you got John McClane. You got, I would say, one of the best textbook level action movie villains of all time.
Of all time,
Hans Gruber.
Yes. And he has a really cool name, too.
He does, Hans Gruber. Played by the late, great Alan Rickman. Oh, and nobody else.
I still can't believe he's gone. Like, thinking about Alan Rickman being gone, it's like, what? He's not going to ever show up in anything.
I know that he won't even do a cameo in the Harry Potter series that's coming out. I know. That was the saddest year. We lost Prince. We lost David Bowie. We lost Alan Rickman.
Was it the same year?
Betty White in a glass case. Yes. Everyone kept Betty White in a glass case. It's true. It's true. Speaking of action. But you got Hans Gruber as the leader of these German terrorists who, are coming into Nakatomi Plaza for their plan, like you said. You've got Reginald Vale Johnson as Al Powell, a great sidekick on the outside, very brave.
That's right.
You got Argyle, the limo driver. Argyle.
Yeah. I love that guy. He's great. Like, you divorced what? Come on. He just nails it out of the
He's like
or something.
You always talk this much, Argyle?
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick before we get to the review. Also, this movie is kind of a study of a disintegrating marriage, if you will. It is, because the whole thing is like, his wife just moved to L.A. and moved their kids there for a career. And he was a New York cop. He didn't want to leave. And so they're not divorced and they're not technically separated. But she is going by her maiden name, which which I was informed by my wife that some women do anyway. And I'm like, yes, but sometimes they hyphenate it. But like she was McClane, and now she's going by Gennaro. So it's
the story was on purpose from the guy. I don't know if it's the guy writing it or John McTiernan, but his friends were going through the same thing at the time with divorces and the name changes and stuff like that. And he wanted to reflect that in the story. And it seems really human because that's something people go through. Yeah.
Yeah. And McClane is so stubborn. Obviously he couldn't uproot his career to go to LA like any sane man would. Like, yeah, I'll be an LA cop. Yeah. So he's there to kind of hopefully win her back and reconcile with his family and everything. And it's just so many good characters. You've got Carl, the evil henchman. You've got one of the greatest henchmen of all time, Carl. And we got to talk about him later. We're going to talk about all that later. Do you want to go ahead and get into the review?
Yeah, we need to go ahead and get into the review, I guess. All right, y'all.
Yeah, I think it's been 2 hours. I can talk about this movie forever and ever.
We're basically live this week, so I've got to do this real quick.
Okay, no problem. I'll vamp. And this movie
share
goes
screen
on forever
is on.
Ever. Yay!
Our next movie is named Die.
Let's have
Bruce
Christmas
Willis is an off-duty policeman who attends an office party in a Los Angeles skyscraper and is overlooked when terrorists occupy the building and round up all of the other people. Hiding out on a floor that's still under construction, he wages a one-man war against the bad guys and maintains radio contact with Reginald Bell Johnson as a cop down on the ground. The movie is filled with wall-to-wall action, a lot of it based on the inability of the LA cops to believe that Willis himself is really a cop and not a tricky terrorist, who plays the villain and who's really the most interesting character in the movie, kind of an intellectual guy with delusions of superiority. Die Hard has a lot of action scenes like the one on the roof, so many of them you're amazed the skyscraper doesn't turn into the towering inferno. They're dropping explosives down the elevator shaft and whole floors are being blown apart. But you can also see there, I think, one of the big weaknesses of the movie, and that's the idiotic behavior of the Los Angeles Police Department. There was one character in this movie, a deputy chief, whose actions are so stupid and so unmotivated and wrong-headed that finally he just brings the movie to a stop every time he opens his mouth. Bad writing. He always says the wrong thing. He understands nothing. And with a movie like this, once you start picking out the loopholes, and there are a lot of them, it doesn't matter how good the stunts or the special effects are, or even how good Bruce Willis is. You just can't stay interested.
I did stay interested because I saw this as really a mano-a-mano between Bruce Willis.
Hold on. Okay. So Siskel seems like he's about to say he likes it. Okay.
I think maybe.
I'm shocked that Ebert would even bring up the police department being stupid as like the hugest, like biggest roadblock in this movie. Because I mean, I don't know. It works so well with them not believing it because they wouldn't believe it. They don't know what's going on up there.
That's true. They've got a guy who's talking to an officer who could be a terrorist trying to trick them. But to be fair, was this one of the first movies where the cops or the authorities who respond seemed clueless? Was that one of the first, maybe? I don't know. Because that seemed like a trope.
I doubt it.
Seemed like a little cliche.
Yeah, that's kind of cliche.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, like, we get that a lot. We've seen it a lot, but I don't know if we saw it a lot in the 70s, 80s,
Oh, we definitely saw it in the 90s, like, call in the military. Well, it's a smash and grab. We're not a scalpel. We're a sword. You know what I mean? Like, they just come in and put everyone at risk. But
it's true.
To be fair, the LAPD had their share of I don't believe yous, but the FBI agents who come in later, who I really want to talk about after the review, they're the ones who are real like, out of my way, step on everything. Yeah, they're the ones who like want to put dynamite on a goldfish bowl when they just need to put the fish in another bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good.
I kind of just made that metaphor up.
You did it.
Well, let's see if Siskel. Thanks, buddy. Let's see if Siskel redeems it. I'm kind of worried now. Oh.
Back just a hunk.
Stay interested because I saw this as really a mano-a-mano between Bruce Willis, who I think is very good in the film, and Alan Rickman, who is really quite devilish and quite sinister and threatening. And I also like the fact that it is held in the skyscraper, so there is some claustrophobia involving this seeming terrorist attack. There's also a bi-play relationship between Willis and his former wife. They want to get that going. She's one of the people that's being captured. But basically, I thought of two guys trapped in a tower trying to fight it out, and I bought the film.
Well, what about all the cops on the ground? What?
Whoa!
Absolutely. Like, how does Siskel get it? He just absolutely gets every bit of it. And Eberts stuck on the cops on the ground, not being believable. What in the world is going on here?
Eberts like, I'm sorry, but once that cop opened his mouth, I was pulling threads.
That's crazy. Because, I mean, that's just kind of how it works, you know? I feel like that's how it would be in real life. Kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have no idea what's going on because Reginald Vell Johnson has no idea what's going on because for those of you who don't know, Bruce Willis is trying to get him to respond to the building. And, you know, I'm just going to call him Carl Winslow for the entire review. Carl Winslow goes in, inspects, everything's fine. One of the terrorists is masquerading as the, you know, security guard, Huey Lewis. And I want to talk about that too. But anyway, so he's masquerading as one of the security guards. As he goes out to get in his car, Bruce Willis, he's killed the bad guy, so he has no choice. He throws the bad guy out the window, crashes him on the car, and says the line that I started the podcast with, "Welcome to the party, pal."
Yeah.
So that's when Carl Winslow calls in the cavalry, and I just don't think they took me out of the movie at all. And I agree with Siskel that the claustrophobia is one of the best parts of the film because they're in this tight, you know, they're not moving from location to location. It's in one area. And this might be, it's not one of the first action movies to be set there. He is right, The Towering Inferno. Some of that was inspired. Some of that inspired this movie, The Towering Inferno. Yeah. You know, we're trapped in this building. So, but yeah, no, Siskel's, man, I can't, what's happening?
He's ripping it apart, world? Then he has nothing, he has no leg to stand on. Like, it's like, he's not, I don't know. I feel like he's just like grasping at whatever he can to disagree. I don't know why.
I know. He's like, I don't buy the fact that Bruce Willis has that much hair.
Yeah.
At the time he did.
Let's see what else he's got to say about it.
What about this, Deputy?
But they stay away from them. They stay away from him.
Willis is brought down to the ground,
yes,
which is a miracle considering that all of the elevator shafts have been dynamited.
I followed him all the way through.
The cop is standing there saying, "We're going to bill you for all the damage you've caused."
There are always
groan at things.
There are idiotic cops in the Dirty Harry movies too, and you laugh at them. Come on, because Harry's smarter.
This is not an idiotic. This is not an idiotic cop. This is idiotic writing to make a cop like this. When it would have been better if he just pushed the action forward instead of constantly being wrong-headed.
One supporting character, two very interesting lead characters. I like the movie.
Yes.
So you think you know?
Wow. Spot on.
You think you know?
There we go.
That's awesome. I believe they're referring to the, I guess he's not the chief, but he's Al's boss, Paul, played by Paul Gleason, who
really?
Who you might remember as the butt-headed, whatever, was he a guidance counselor in Breakfast Club? He was the guy who gathered them together for the detention.
Yeah, he was the guidance counselor, was he? Oh gosh,
whatever his role was. What was?
Yeah.
He was the principal, assistant principal,
librarian,
shop teacher.
I don't know.
Cafeteria worker,
English teacher, something like that.
Yeah, maybe badminton instructor. Anyway,
cafeteria
Paul Gleason
lady
made a career out of playing. Yes, Paul Gleason made a career out of playing characters like that were just blowhard idiots who thought they knew more than they did. He was great in that role. Yeah, I really thought he was. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I don't agree with Ebert at all. I agree with Siskel.
No, he wasn't even talking about anything about the movie. Just like the one bit he didn't like, which didn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't even think was legitimate for him to be upset about. Like, I was like,
no.
I like that Paul Gleason was like, I like that Paul Gleason came in there and he's like, what's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Shut up, Al. He could be a terrorist, you know?
Yeah, and I know back then they didn't get it as not just a ridiculous action movie, you know. And I guess Ebert was completely blind to that, where Siskel was, you know, saying, yeah, the bit between Hans Gruber and, John McClane, John McClane and his wife, none of it works without all of that. Like the real story, the real tension there. And yeah.
Well, speaking of his wife, played by Holly Gennaro. Oh, also, another reason why this is a Christmas movie, there's a character named Holly.
That's true.
Think about it.
Yeah.
There you go. Holly Gennaro, played by actress Bonnie Bedelia. She was actually suggested by Bruce Willis to director John McTiernan.
Are you serious?
Okay. Yeah, very serious. He had seen her in something like years ago. And he's like, hey, I like your style.
Yeah. She was in something in the early 80s, I think. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I think so, yeah.
Rickman, do you know how they found Rickman?
No, I know that this was his film debut.
Yeah.
Because he had been a theater
let's see.
actor. Yeah,
I think it was Joel Silver saw him perform in the Broadway version, and I can't say the French, but it's Dangerous Liaisons.
Oh,
if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the original Broadway French play.
Yeah. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Felipe. I love that movie.
No. Keanu Reeves and Uma Thurman.
Ooh, and Malkovich.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, dude, I love that.
Was he playing John Malkovich's role?
I don't know who he's playing. I should find that out, though, for sure. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I would think so. But yeah, I think that's kind of funny. It's cool.
That is funny. Yeah, this was his movie debut. And he was thinking about it. He was like, do I want to make my American movie debut as a villain in a big action film? Or, like he couldn't decide.
Yeah.
He's like, should I do something smaller? Should I do a more serious piece? And then he turned out to be, again, one of the just definitions of a action movie villain. Like one of the
greatest of all time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Hans Gruber.
I do like how
people say it.
How 3 follows that, you find out it's his brother. Spoiler, sorry guys.
Yes.
And they're doing the same thing. They're just making a big distraction so they could steal the gold out of the whatever, the US gold reserve or whatever.
Let's talk about
which is the plot of a lot of TV shows and movies since then. Exactly. For some reason.
That is true.
And I get tired, even going back and watching it, I've seen this before 100,000 times at this point. But I think they were the first to really do it. But yeah.
Yeah. Because on the outward, they seemed like these terrorists with these ideals, of some kind of agenda. And they really just wanted to steal. It wasn't even money they were stealing, Matches. It was bear bonds. What do bears have to do with striking it rich?
What the crap are bear bonds?
To this day, I don't know what bear bonds is. Okay. I have to say real quick, Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
Well, this movie's so influential. Do you remember the Die Hard musical episode where Gene wrote a Die Hard musical?
Yes, I do. It's so good.
Yes. And they combined it with a Working Girl musical that they had also done at the school. It was Work Hard or Die Trying.
That's right. Yeah, wasn't it the Tina that wanted to do Working Girl or something? Yeah.
No. It was. Oh gosh, it's Gene's on again, off again girl for Courtney.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gene, I want you to do Working Girl. So the kid in the show called Daryl, he has a scene where he goes, "I cracked the code." Here are the bear bonds, which are just as good as money, I guess.
I guess, yeah. That's so good. I love it.
Oh gosh. And okay, I would be remiss, since we're talking about Fox cartoons, talking about Die Hard, if I did not mention the only episode of the Cleveland Show spinoff from Family Guy. The Cleveland Show.
Oh yeah.
The only episode of the Cleveland Show that was good. Okay, Loretta wants me to go home and be tender with her.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleveland. Well, do you know the only good episode of the Cleveland Brown Show, in my opinion, was the Christmas episode where Cleveland sits the kids down to tell them the greatest Christmas story of all time, Die Hard. Okay, so he starts talking about Die Hard. Okay,
I never saw that.
Cleveland, it was good. It was very funny. And then Cleveland says a line in the telling of the Die Hard story that struck a chord with me because I always thought this too. So he goes, "Come on, other terrorists, Carl, guy who looks like Huey Lewis." And one of Hans Gruber's group of terrorists, one of his terrorists, is an actor. His name is, I wrote it down, Dennis Hayden, who bears more than a passing resemblance to Huey Lewis.
Is it the guy that sits down behind the security desk with Carl Winslow?
Yes.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yep. Spoiler alert. Yeah, spoiler alert. He's the last terrorist to die before Gruber.
Does he? Is he? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, he's the last one standing. He looks just, the whole time when we first rented the movie, I was like, "Mom, I think that's Huey Lewis."
Whoa. Yeah, I can see it now. He looks just like him.
I thought it was for years, and turns out it wasn't. It was just an actor who bears a passing resemblance to him.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. I did say did you know there's one terrorist that doesn't die, though?
Is there?
He's one of the few that isn't German. It's Clarence Gilliard, a black guy with glasses. He was the hacker.
Oh, what happens to him?
Yeah.
Did they even?
He doesn't. He gets punched out by Argyle. Yeah, at the end of the movie, he's trying to escape in this ambulance of all things.
Yeah.
Argyle, who knows the building's been locked down and knows something's up, he sees him, knows he's suspicious, rams his limo into the ambulance.
I forgot about that.
Punches him in the face. Oh, that's one of my favorite parts. Argyle gets a hero moment. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Argyle.
Years later, this guy, Clarence Gilliard, becomes Trevette on Walker, Texas Ranger, a show that I didn't like, but a lot of people did, including my mom. And your mom?
Are you serious?
Did your mom like it?
Never. She never got into that at all.
I'm so shocked. I thought all moms. I thought all our moms from that generation loved Walker. Well, yeah, he was Trevette. Yeah, he started up. My mom told me, she goes, you know what? He probably went back and became a deputy and redeemed himself for being so evil.
Oh, no.
That's my mom's backstory.
That's cute. I love it.
Yeah. She also did think that poor Argyle or Al were going to die. I don't know why. The whole time.
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes
I don't know. I could see it, but I'm glad they didn't.
Die.
Yeah.
Me too. So I wanted to talk real quick. We were talking about the terrorists. I want to talk about Carl, the big, tall, blonde German terrorist, played by actor Alexander Goodenough.
Are you serious?
That's his name, Alexander Goodenough. I may be pronouncing it
You were good
wrong.
enough, buddy. You were good enough.
That's where it came from. Yeah. So Carl gets really mad at John McClane. Do you remember why he has such a beef with McClane, or whoever it is that's
Did he kill his brother?
Trying to stop them from doing their terroristic-y things?
Did he kill his brother? Was that him? Did you hear me?
I did not. I heard a clip.
Oh, sorry. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can get this going.
Okay.
Did he kill his brother and set him up?
He killed his brother. He did.
Yeah, like a dummy. Yeah, and had the little shirt and everything written on it. Ho, ho, ho.
Yes. Yes, that is the first terrorist to die. Bruce Willis kills him, puts a Santa hat on him, ties Christmas lights on him, and says, "Now I have a machine gun." Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, that's it. Shirt. I thought it was ridiculous. Like people in the hostages, if they start screaming, all the women start screaming when they see it. Like, dead body.
Because he sends it down the elevator. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, calm down.
What, you never seen a dead terrorist before? Come on, it's L.A.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. It is, so the whole movie is like, that's one of the subplots building up, is Carl's just like losing it. Of course, he's upset that his brother is dead. So he's going to take out this guy. And finally, when McClane and Carl meet towards the top of the roof, while Carl's trying to set detonators and bombs and they have the fight of the movie, I would say.
Yeah.
Would you not? The big showdown?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh, I do.
It's very good. Yeah.
I
like it because, he killed his brother, he wants his revenge, and John knows what he's done. He's real cheeky about it, like he could easily get creamed.
This guy's huge. I mean, this guy is
easily.
like imagine Eric the vampire from True Blood, but like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, and that much wide, I guess. Yeah.
That much wide. The man is a wall with hair. Exactly.
He is.
But
really good hair.
But McClane also has one of my favorite lines in the movie when he's fighting him. He's got his arms around his neck. He's like, "I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to cook you and eat you."
I love it. Yeah.
I don't know why he says that.
I don't know. It's funny. I'm sure he did it in the moment, too. I love it.
He maybe, yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that. Some of the dialogue in this movie was improvised.
Yeah. Whenever Bruce Willis comes in and says, "Hi, honey," that was never in the script. He just walked in and said, "Hi, honey." And that's so good. Right? It's such a good line in the right place, the right way. I think Bruce Willis is a genius, a misunderstood genius.
I do. And yes, this movie did lead to him getting an ego, and he has lost some work because of it, but he's great. He's a comedic genius. This movie turned him into an action hero.
If somebody had just winded him down a bit, just brought him back to earth a little bit for Hudson Hawk, we'd have an amazing movie in Hudson Hawk.
You might be right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I believe you are right. Yeah. But do you know what also was improv in the movie? You're never going to guess. You may know this though, so you may guess.
Go ahead.
Okay, the signature line of the film when Alan Rickman tells him, you're being John Wayne, you're being a typical American cowboy, and he says, "Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard," which, if my mom is listening, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I heard a different take too.
Oh, okay, tell me.
That might not be accurate because it's taken from Roy Rogers. He used to say "Yippee-ki-yay, kids."
Yes, it is "Yippee-ki-yay, kids."
And so he had a chance to. They gave him a choice to do "Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Effers," or "Yippee-ti-yay" or something like that.
Yes,
and he chose "Yippee-ki-yay." So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be like
you might be right.
Yeah. A lot of those things you hear about movies aren't even true at all. Like the scene in Being John Malkovich where the extra drives by and throws a can at his head and says, "Think fast, Malkovich," or whatever. That was always supposed to be like, that wasn't planned or whatever, but it was planned. That's one of those big scenes that they're like, an extra just drove by and like slammed in the back of a head with a full beer can, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, that was always rumored to be an extra that just went rogue, but it wasn't. It was planned. It was off for the movie.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
like the guy who pulls his pants over quick in Teen Wolf.
Yeah. It was planned.
Yeah. It was totally planned. It was all part of the magic of filmmaking. Yeah. Well, what wasn't in the script was some lines that the character Ellis spoke. Now, Ellis was this slimy, like just typical 80s cocaine-fueled lunkhead that Holly worked with. Yeah, he kind of had a crush on her, too, in a way. And he was, Ellis, played by Hart Bochner, he was, from the first scene you see him, he's sniffing coke on the boss's desk.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. There had to be somebody in an 80s movie about business where someone was sniffing the cocaine.
It's true, yeah. They just did it all the time. It's just
It's just
no
normal.
Rhyme, no reason.
They talk about that on Saturday Night Live, how from like the late 70s to the early 80s, it was like, we had to have the cocaine to write. I'm like, did you?
Yeah,
maybe.
He didn't.
I don't know. No, obviously not. But,
maybe
so
Stephen
Ellis
King.
is real slimy.
Sorry.
You think?
Well, I mean, his stuff was so good when he was on the cocaine, and it wasn't when he was off the cocaine. So I'm just going to say, I don't know about it.
I would argue Stone Temple Pilots were a better band when Weiland was using. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe not. I don't want to say
it's sad,
it's bad.
But
anyway,
they don't need to get back on
we'll
it.
Edit that out. We'll edit that out. So Ellis from the get-go is jumpy. Okay, maybe because of the cocaine. So when the terrorists take over, he's all like, "Let's do what they say," and he's like almost on the terrorist side.
Yeah. He got like what is it called? The Stockholm syndrome, real quick. He's a guest terrorist. Let's do exactly what you want.
He's mad. He's mad at the person who's inside the building who's trying to stop them. He's like, he's going to make it worse.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's going to make it. Yeah, he's the worst.
He improvised Well, he tries to convince Hans that him and the guy in the building are best friends, and he can negotiate him down, and maybe everybody can live. And so he improvised the line, "Hans, bubble you white knight."
Really?
And Ellis gets killed for it. Yeah. So he does. And that's what makes Paul Gleason's character not trust John McClane much, or whoever it is in the building. He doesn't know. He got a guy killed. And of course, Carl Winslow's like, no, he did what he could,
Yeah.
Love it. Kind of an argument. Yeah. And then the FBI guys show up. Agent Johnson and Agent Johnson. Probably your favorite characters in the movie, I'm going to guess.
Absolutely.
No relation.
100%.
No relation. Played by Robert Davi, and I wrote the other guy's name down because it's very unusual. Grand L. Bush. Grand L. Bush.
It's Grande. I'm just kidding.
It's pronounced Bush. Swedish.
Yeah, never heard of those guys.
Oh, yeah. He would go on to be in Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2, and
really?
A James Bond movie for like 5 minutes. Yeah. But he was very distinct looking. But Robert Davi, I've talked about him before, also a villain in a Bond movie. He was always your go-to tough guy villain in the 80s. You remember him, Robert Davi? He had a face that looks like it got twisted, never got twisted back.
I think maybe I'm picturing the person, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he always played a tough guy and a villain, and then he was in Showgirls, and I never could watch him the same again. But we can talk about that another day.
Really?
It wasn't his fault. It was the dialogue. He had the worst.
Yeah.
I guess he gave it his all. But yeah, Agent Johnson, all the Johnsons, no relation. They kind of make it worse almost. In fact, they get in a helicopter and they're making the terrorists think that they're gonna rescue, the hostages, and they say that with their average they can get maybe less than 25 hostages killed. That's an acceptable loss. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. They were. So
did I get it right?
Kind of butts.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, you did. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something like that. They're like 25%. I can live with that, And they end up getting blown up. And then Paul Gleason has a great line where he's like, "Oh crap, are they going to send more agents now?"
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's so many great lines in this movie. As I said, yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard. When it's on TV, I want to talk about this real quick. When Die Hard is on TV, as we know, when there's bad cuss words that they can't say on broadcast television or some cable stations, they will get a voice actor that sounds very close to the actor to dub for them, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's fudging. Right. That's right. That is correct. And so I'm thinking for Die Hard, man, that guy probably just voiced the whole movie, as is every Joe Pesci and Samuel L. Jackson movie that's on TV. They just have to hire a whole new dialogue person,
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because I have a small list here of really unique, probably some of the best substitute lines on TVs for movies. And when Die Hard 2 is shown on TV, Die Harder, which also takes place during Christmas.
Yeah. It's at an airport. Yeah. Was that an airport? Yeah.
They did something different with the sequel. They didn't do the same thing. They did have terrorists take over, but they basically took over the communication system where they couldn't land the planes. So the planes are circling, losing fuel. And who's on one of those planes? Holly McClane.
Of course.
Gotta save the day.
You can't get a break.
In the movie, when McClane,
I said she can't get a break.
She can't get it. Well, she says that at the end of Die Hard 2. She goes, "Why does this keep happening to us, John?"
It's true. No, he said he never wanted to be. He never wanted to go to another tall building again, and I guess in the series he never did.
No, because the third one, the whole city was like his playground.
Yeah.
Because the guy was sitting bombs everywhere. And real quick, I do want to talk about that. The sequels are great, but the one thing I don't like about the sequels is it really shows the disintegration of their marriage. Like, they're on the rocks in the first one. They get back together. On the second one, they're on solid ground. They're doing great. By the third one, they're having trouble again, and they're separated. Yeah. And then by the fourth one, they've been divorced. Yeah. And that made me sad. She's not even in the other movies. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Has she even talked about? I don't know.
Really he's mentioned at the end of the third one, he says he's going to try to reconcile. Obviously, it didn't work with Live Free or Die Hard. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I do have
And then he got married to Justin Long, so that's fine. Oh.
He did?
He got married to Justin Long in the third one. Remember?
I think that's what happened, yeah.
They were nuptials. I don't know. That's all I remember.
It was a surprise to everyone.
It was, yeah.
So, speaking of surprises, in Die Hard 2, when it's on TV, at the end, when he stops the terrorists, instead of yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard, he says, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Does he really?
He does. And I have a list of other great substitutes. I know what your favorite is. And I'm not going to say the words they're substituting. I'm going to let the audience figure it out for themselves. In The Usual Suspects, when they're doing the lineup, and they all have to say, what is it, Matches?
Hand me the GD keys, MFer.
Yep, but on TV, it's, give me the keys, you fairy godmother.
That's right. They all kind of have a little bit different version of that. And once, what is his name? Benicio del Toro gets up there. He's like, hand me the keys, you fairy godmother. It's so good.
And I have a list of others. Snakes on a Plane. When Samuel Jackson says his famous line that sold the movie on TV, it says, I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Whoa, I love that.
And Sam
monkey
Jackson
fighting
wrote
snakes
that.
on this Monday to Friday plane.
Monday to Friday.
Did he do his own ADR?
That.
He submitted it?
I don't know, but he wrote that, and he said, you should use this if you do it on TV. He thought of that.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Yeah.
Yep. The movie, The Big Lebowski, when John Goodman loses it and starts beating the crap out of this guy's car, I'm not going to tell you what he says in the movie, but on the TV version, he says, this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Yep. And then in Casino, Joe Pesci says, forget me? Forget you mother forgetter.
Mother forgetter. Oh, that's great.
Any Sam Jackson or Joe Pesci movie, there you go.
Yeah,
so that's my list of great substituted words. What else can we say about this movie? Like, what? A lot of people argue that it is a Christmas movie, that it's not. I say it is. I'm okay if you say it's not. I'm not. It's not a hill I'm dying on. That I'm dying hard on.
I think it's a great movie. I think it's a fine Christmas movie. I'm not going to say it's my favorite Christmas movie of all time, because that's just, I feel like that's divisive. I feel like you're asking for someone to come and like argue with you or punch you in the face. I'm just
right. Like you're going to get someone coming up in a grit shirt. I'll kill you.
They will. I'm telling you, someone will kill you for that.
They will. I say it with tongue in cheek. I know a lot of people don't consider it a Christmas movie, and that's okay. You know, I love to have fun with it. But it's got Christmas music, like you said. And it's got my favorite Christmas song of all time. Yeah. Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC.
Yes, it does.
There you go. You've got your redemptive themes. You've got your family reconciliation. You've got all kinds of stuff. In fact, it was compared to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the special, as being more Christmassy than Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Are you serious?
Yep, I saw. And there was a study. You can
that's
check my
insane.
Facebook page.
It's not. I mean,
I agree with you there.
But I mean, that is a Christmas movie.
But they've even compared it to White Christmas as being more Christmassy than White Christmas.
I can see that. Yeah. Because, White Christmas doesn't have... I mean, it's got Christmas in it, but it's not as much as you think it is.
Well, the writer and the director, John McTiernan, the director, and whoever wrote the movie, they say it's a Christmas movie now. Bruce Willis has never really said it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You know what he says it is?
What?
He says it's a Bruce Willis movie.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. That's fantastic.
Me too.
I don't know. It is a Christmas movie. And like, that Reddit or a bit or whatever kind of really sold me if I wasn't sold before. That it just has to take place at Christmas or it just doesn't work, like. That's
right. And I mean, the third, fourth, and fifth sequel do not take place during Christmas. So it's not dependent on it.
Yeah.
No. But this movie was so influential that literally when you saw an action movie advertised or heard about it, it was usually described as Die Hard on a, or Die Hard in a.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you get, Die Hard on a bus?
Speed,
yeah. Die Hard in a phone booth?
Speed.
I don't know.
Was it a phone booth?
Wasn't there a movie with Colin Farrell in a phone booth the whole movie?
Yeah, it was called Phone Booth. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland.
It was, yeah, that's it. I was just being silly, but yeah.
The Stallone movie Cliffhanger was called Die Hard on a Cliff,
Cliff, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, well, think about it. The blueprint. You've got your charismatic terrorist leader who is likable, even though they're evil. And then,
by the way, they did rehearse that scene where they first met each other. That was unrehearsed, and it was just like them just improvising in the moment, like being just uncertain about meeting each other.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, Hans Gruber is trying to investigate what's happening because he keeps losing all his tennis men. And then he runs into John McClane. Yeah. And he immediately affects an American accent and is like, oh my gosh, are you one of them? Oh no. He acts like the typical overreacting, scared. And a lot of people debate whether or not McClane knew he was lying or thought he was one of the hostages.
I mean, I think he knew it was a possibility. I mean, I think he had to think. Yeah. So, I mean, this is, and even if he gave just a rando a gun, what's a rando hostage that's, freaking out going to do with a gun,
Yeah. I mean, He tells him his name is Bill Clay because he had seen the name on a sign in the office building.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so funny, yeah, because and you probably know this, like apparently, like you said, they kind of came up with that scene on the fly because they were trying to figure out how to put them face to face.
Yeah, he heard him kind of affecting an American accent, they said backstage, and they were like, oh, that's how we're going to do it. They just put them together and watched him work. Yeah,
Alan Rickman was just doing an American accent for fun, like, hello, my wife is named Mary.
I can't see him doing that. Like, I just can't. That's so funny.
Has he ever done a movie where he's had an American accent?
I want to say yes, but I don't know. Is that wine movie out in the country? I don't remember.
Love
something.
Actually? No.
No.
And Quickly Down Under, he was the villain. Did he have an accent or an Alan Rickman accent?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. My friend growing up had a cat named Quigley because of that movie. But I can't remember. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I want to talk about Gruber one more time real quick. So the scene at the end, one of the best scenes of the movie, when Bruce Willis has stopped everybody and he shoots Gruber, and Gruber goes flying out the window, grabs, Miss Gennaro, grabs Miss McClane, and he's either going to take her with him or shoot one of them, and then he loses his grip and he falls in one of the best slow motion scenes you've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
you were talking about that before we started. Yeah, go ahead and tell him the fun fact. He's literally like.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's falling because he's literally falling about 40 feet onto a big cushy, whatever you call those things that they land on, and so it's a real fall. They just spliced into that part of the movie afterwards, and oh my gosh, is it effective? Because you could tell now, like if you watched an old VHS or whatever, you could see he's a little bit different colored than everything behind it.
Yeah, a little green screening.
Just a little bit. But it looks good because he is actually falling. I think that's pretty cool.
Yes. He volunteered to do his own stunt. And do you know why he has that expression?
The expression that he does? I don't know. What was it?
Yeah. Well,
did they not know when he was going to drop him?
Be in the sequel. No, that's it. Well, McTiernan said he says, we'll give you a countdown. Yeah. And instead of going to the countdown, they dropped him on 1. And that surprised look on his face, like, oh my gosh,
that's real.
And they kept that first take of him like, oh!
The first take? That's insane.
The first take. Because McTiernan was apparently like, going to be like 1, 2, 3, drop. And he went 1, drop!
Wow, yeah, that's what you got to do with stuff like that. Yeah, I think.
That's a real reaction, and it worked so well. Because that look on his face, my mom went, yes! She is hollering at the screen.
I love it. It's so good. Yeah, you wouldn't have got that same look if they hadn't done that or really dropped him. No, from something.
Because he's got this look on his face like, oh, I messed up. I messed up.
Yeah, he looks like he's really fallen to his death. I love it.
He really does. Before we get to our ending, I have to tell you the list of actors who turned this movie down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, go through that real quick.
Yeah. They did feel it necessary to ask Frank Sinatra, who was 70, because in the book the character's 60. Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
His name is John Leland, and Sinatra had played him in a movie called The Detective, which was based on one of the series of books, as you said earlier. Okay. People that the movie was. And that's right. Adam Sandler was not offered the role, but I'll tell you who was offered the role: Sylvester Stallone, Richard Gere. Okay, this is going to shock you. Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, who did end up playing Die Hard in a president's plane in Air Force One. Al Pacino was offered the role. Al Pacino, Nick Nolte. Can you imagine that? Like, come to the coast, have you last?
I can see it, but I'm glad it didn't happen.
No, Nick Nolte would be too much of a grumpy bear. You know who was also offered the role?
Who?
Richard Dean Anderson, a.k.a. MacGyver. Richard Dean Anderson. Because MacGyver was very big at that time. Yeah, That would have been great, because Murdoch could have played the villain, and he could have been MacGyver!
Yeah.
Something
and then he went on to be in one of the greatest series of all time.
I agree.
Which one?
Stargate?
Which one?
No, MacGyver.
Yep, Stargate. It was Stargate.
Okay.
I love Stargate. So good.
Really? See, I never got into it. I know people love it. They adore it. I just couldn't get into it.
It's amazing.
Showtime? Okay.
Yep.
I may have to go back and see it. Okay.
You did.
Also offered the role was James Caan. Of all people.
How old was he back then?
Newman, he was pretty
Still pretty old back then, yeah.
Yeah, like
Paul Newman was, he was older back then. He was in his 50s back then, I think. 40s, not 50s. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, he was pretty old. At Burt Reynolds.
Wow.
Going on
okay.
that, Don Johnson.
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I'm sure you probably heard, was offered the role, but he turned it down because he wanted to concentrate on comedy roles. So he did Twins instead.
Yeah, he did Twins.
Yeah, he said, I've done enough. I've done enough explosions. I want to do laughs.
That was the whole Twins Kindergarten Cop debacle. Yeah.
Hey, don't you speak ill of Kindergarten Cop. Don't you talk like that.
I'm just kidding. It's a classic. I love it.
It is. I don't love Twins, though, like everybody else does. I was disappointed. I don't know why.
I mean, I was a kid when I saw it, of course, but and it was fine back then, but it wasn't like the best thing ever.
No, even as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I love Danny DeVito and I love Schwarzenegger. And I was like, this is going to be the greatest combination since peanut butter and peanut butter. And it wasn't that funny to me. I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. Oh,
I'm trying to think. I felt similar about a movie.
Go ahead.
What was I saw it back then? Was it, oh gosh. Was it Richard Pryor and Jiminy Glick? What's his name?
Martin Short?
Martin Short, yeah. Was it something they were in? No. Wait.
No,
you're
thinking Danny Glover. Oh, no, that's Gene Hackman and Richard Pryor, who were great co-stars together. Yeah, see no evil.
Okay, and then there was another one with Martin Short, and I can't remember what it was, but all those right around that time were kind of disappointing for me, I think. Yeah.
Well, he was in a movie called Pure Luck with Danny Glover. Was that the one?
That was it.
Where he's
very
unlucky.
Yes.
Yeah. I never saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
You can remember
I'm sorry
it.
I haven't. I'm sorry I haven't watched Stargate. I'll give it a chance. I apologize.
I think it was fantastic. I had a good time. It was kind of like, watching the X-Files all over again or something. Maybe not as good as that, but it's very good. Yeah.
Okay. Again, he'll always be MacGyver to me. And for those of you who don't know, I was referencing MacGyver's main rival of the show, who was always on one episode every season, Murdoch. Do you remember him? Played by Michael Desmar?
Why was it always just one or two little episodes or something every season? He could have just wrote that out.
I guess if he'd been on the show more, it would have been like the McRib being offered all year long. It loses its sizzle, Maybe
so, yeah. And they didn't do such episodic episodes of TV back then, I guess. It was always kind of a symptom of the week kind of a thing, yeah.
Right. I mean, MacGyver had very few recurring villains, but at least once for probably after season 2, once a season, Murdoch would come back, and he would always die in a way that would kill a normal human being. Right? Yeah, an explosion, fall off a cliff, acid,
literal acid. You remember that, don't you? It was acid.
I do.
Yeah,
I do remember. I thought acid, like quicksand, was going to be much more prevalent and dangerous in my life.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Remember when Superman saved the day in Superman 3 with it? Yeah. Oh, one more thing before we get to the bottom.
Come on. Sorry, go ahead.
One more thing. One of the great things about this movie is McClane has no shoes. Remember that?
Yeah.
He loses his shoes. And the first terrorist he kills, he's like, why do I have to kill a terrorist with girls' shoes? With women's feet.
Yeah.
So everyone, I don't know if everyone notices this, but one of my favorite parts of the movie is he accumulates just tons of glass in his feet.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this film, okay? Mm-hmm. There was a Nintendo game made about this movie, and in the Nintendo version, it had a foot meter. And every time he would step on glass, it would slow him down like his kind of like a heart thing.
Are you serious?
From his life thing. It was a foot meter, yes.
That's genius.
So you could step on
like
the glass, but it would slow him down. Right.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
Oh, speaking of, the other star of the show was his wife beaters he had on, his T-shirts.
Yes, the classic action hero costume.
Do you know how many T-shirts they had in various degrees of degradation on set?
I want to know. This will be great. I can't wait.
17. Just 17.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's all various states of holes and dirt and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's wearing it in the third one too. Isn't he in a white beater and for the majority of the third one?
I think so. Yeah. He just loves this.
Because Jeremy Irons' character, he does. It's his costume du jour.
That's true.
Real quick, before we go, also, Carl, who you think has died.
Yeah.
Playing kills him. He comes back at the very end, one last act of, and, Al Powell shoots him and saves the day. Was that one of the first instances of a villain or a henchman you thought he was dead in a non-horror film where you thought he was dead and he came back all of a sudden?
No, that was a cliche already. Even in Gremlins at the end when Stripe comes up out of that thing, but he's, a puddle of bones and whatever he is, but he still comes up and then like falls apart or whatever. That was kind of a cliche back then, I think already, maybe.
Okay, I just wondered if that was the first action film to do it though.
I think they did it in a unique way,
Yeah.
So it could be.
It was great. It was great. Yeah. So, what else can we say about this awesome Yuletide extravaganza?
Well, we need to say what we felt about it and give it a rating.
Okay. You want to go first?
Okay. Well, I felt about this movie very deeply. It is a movie. It is a very good movie.
It is,
it was my dad's favorite movie with like Steel Magnolias and Fried Green Tomatoes and all those movies.
Your dad loved this movie.
Die Hard. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to see it back then.
Makes sense. I'm slightly old. I'm a year and a half older than you. I get it.
Yeah. But it's so funny. His favorite movies were like Die Hard and Beaches, and all those movies.
Okay.
So great. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I wish I could have met your dad. He's so awesome.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 5 holly mistletoes out of 5.
Nice one, McLean. I am going to give it 5 detonators out of 5 detonators.
Oh, that's good. I like it. So you like the movie, though?
I love it. I don't just like it. I love it. Like, forget the Christmas
Just
thing.
making sure.
To me, it is one of the definitive action films. It was so influential. It rewrote the script. It, like Siskel said, the claustrophobia, trapped in a place. I mean,
he nailed that in just a few words, just what it was and how well it did it. Like, I love that. Like, Siskel
and Bruce Willis,
it.
they took it. He did. And they took a chance on this guy who was a TV actor.
Yeah.
And as I think I said this before we started recording, some of the early trailers didn't even emphasize Bruce Willis's image. They barely showed him. They showed the explosions. They showed the building. They showed the terrorists.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid, this guy is a nobody.
Anyone who'd heard about it was talking about it. Yeah. Is that a good idea? I don't think that's a good idea. He's a comedian, whatever he is. Yeah.
Right. Of course, according to Barney from How I Met Your Mother, one of my favorite shows until the final episode, and I don't want to talk about that, but
I still
Barney,
like it.
If you remember, what's that?
I still like it.
Oh, it's a great show. I just don't want to acknowledge that last episode. It doesn't exist.
I get it. I mean, it was a silly show. It had a silly ending. I don't know what I expected. It was fine.
It's like the other Halloween movies. You can just pick and choose which one you like. But Barney had his character had this thing where he rooted for the bad guys and he literally thought they were the good guy. And he said Hans Gruber was the hero in that movie. He's like, what are you talking about? He goes, he was a venture capitalist, okay? And he died hard. Like the title said.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Yeah, he always had the whole thing with Johnny from the Karate Kid as being the good guy, the best, misunderstood.
He was the Karate Kid.
Yeah, he was the Karate Kid.
That may be what fueled the Cobra Kai series. Because doesn't Johnny talk about how Daniel-san's crane kick was an illegal move? And Barney used to say that.
And it's true. Yeah, that's so funny.
We don't want to admit it was illegal.
Yeah, because it wasn't too much long after that Cobra Kai came around. And I saw it as first season on YouTube Premium or whatever it was back then.
Yeah. That's where it started. Then Netflix gobbled it up. Oh, fun fact. The girl who plays Ralph Macchio's daughter is from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Really?
Yep.
That's really cool. Okay.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Well, Die Hard. Go see it. Live it. Love it.
Dream it.
Yeah. Something like that. Ho, 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 pal.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's right. All right. What's next on the docket of this wonderful Christmas Eve show? I believe
next on the docket.
What's next on our list? Yes.
Next on our list is Shannon sings a silly song.
Hi, I'm Larry. No, this must not happen. Archibald said no.
We need an intro for this one or something.
Maybe like a VeggieTales type thing. I have a theme song, people, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time. Every episode, I try my best. I try to come up with a theme song for our show. It never sticks. I think this one might. I think this might change your life, Matches. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
All right, here we go. All right, get your turntables ready. You ready? It's topical. Okay. It was December 24th when we did a podcast. We had Siskel and Ebert and maybe some laughs. We approached a Christmas movie that blew us away where John McClane says, yippee-ki-yay! It's Christmas time at NOMS Pod. Matches is cool and Shannon is odd. We talk about the movies that you love like The Grinch Stole Christmas Just Needed a Hug. From Nakatomi Tower on the intercoms, we want to say Merry Christmas from us at NOMS!
Yeah.
So, what'd you think?
It's all right.
Did we frolic and play the Eskimo way?
It was okay.
Okay.
Was that?
I'll try it again.
Made up on the spot? Was that a original Shannon?
Yes.
It was?
Totally original melody and lyrics.
Are you sure?
I improved. Yeah, I improved. It was mine. Okay. Original. Don't research it. Don't.
We'll take it out back like we'll take it out back doggy style. So we'll do with it. Like Old Yeller and shoot it. You know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I was worried. I thought you were going to make it listen to the Snoop Dogg album.
No.
Oh, by the way, thanks to the voice, my mom finally loves Snoop Dogg. It took 30 years. My mom now has an appreciation for Snoop Dogg. I'm not making this up. She goes,
the voice just destroys these people. It destroys any cred they ever had. Yeah.
Not according to my mom.
That's
Snoop
exactly
Dogg
what I'm
is now
talking
one
about.
of her favorite people.
That's awesome.
Well, it is kind of funny. You put him and Martha Stewart together, you know, they're pals. Only one of those people went to jail. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Murder was the case that he gave.
Well, now it's time for... Oh, that's true. Yeah. for shizzle. So coming up next, I think, is our favorite part of the podcast, besides the part where we leave. No, that's everyone else's favorite part.
Oh, yeah, it is. I think we're ready to do it, but it just depends on if our producer has fallen asleep.
I feel like he's gone off to get some eggnog and has disappeared. Do you think he went to that Christmas party and it got taken over by terrorists and he just can't come home?
It could be.
Leave him alone, Huey Lewis.
All right, well, we're just going to try it and see. We're gonna sing our little intro song and see if it comes true. If not, we'll add it in post.
We're going to break some hearts and change some lives. You ready?
Well, Shannon.
It's the...
Video movie corner pick of the week.
Yeah. Michael Bolton, how'd you come in here? It's the pick of the week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we got Michael Bolton back. That's cool. Yeah.
Well, we've got the same haircut now, so yeah.
He's easier to get than I thought, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you can hire him on Craigslist, Ginny's List. Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised. Huh, okay.
eBay. Yeah, you can get your own Michael Bolton. So this is the video movie corner pick of the week, where Matches and I, we thrill you, we chill you, and we feel you. But not literally, because we'd be arrested, and that's not right. We give you a movie that we think you should see, that maybe Siskel Ebert didn't review, like it's a newer movie most of the time. And we'll tell you how to find it. We'll tell you what we liked about it. And you want to go first, Matches?
I do.
Perfect, my friend. Let's go.
Shannon, it's Christmas week, of course. So
it is Christmas.
I figured I'd do a Christmas one. Just throw it out there.
McLean.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw out a brand new one that came out not just this month, actually, and it is a Christmas movie called. And I know we've talked about this before, I think, on the show, but Dear Santa.
I can't wait. Yes, all right.
I've seen this movie twice now. It is a Christmas classic already. Have you seen it, Shannon?
I have not. We're trying to wait till the kids can watch it. We're trying to get Rocket and Groot gathered in the room. We may have to lock the doors to the rooms. We don't know.
But you do have Paramount Plus.
Why, yes, we do.
Okay, good, because that's where you can find this movie. Dear Santa is a movie about a kid who has dyslexia. As a lot of kids do, a lot of adults. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. And he sends the letter to Santa, but he accidentally addresses it to Satan. And it's cute. Oh my goodness. I think it's a little risque in all the right places. There's a few wordy dirds, but not too bad.
So PG-13, but
it's a little tongue in cheek. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I don't think it's too much. Definitely not for older kids. I think younger kids, maybe not. I don't know. Jack Black's, a silly guy.
Okay.
He actually puts on a little voice in this one. I think he does a good job.
Even as a devil.
Yeah, and he's very funny, of course. And the main kid in it, I think he's perfect for the role. He's just the perfect little nerdy kid. He's got a little weight on him. There's this one scene. His parents don't like that he believes in Santa Claus. His dad really doesn't. And he comes down the stairs after meeting Santa Claus that night, singing, Santa Claus is coming to town. And he's just like sashaying down the little stairs. And you're like, oh, kid. It's so, I think they did a really good job on this movie. It's very funny. It's going to be a classic for years and years and years to come. I think I enjoyed watching for the second time this month, and I might watch it again on Christmas. So, throwing that out there. Go see in your living rooms, Dear Santa.
That's right. Gather the family and don't get in the car.
Put on your Sunday best, but sit on the couch.
That's right. I hear this movie. Or put on your matching pajamas, maybe.
Man, streaming era is so weird, isn't it, Shannon?
It is very weird. And the
so
theatrical
weird
window.
Still. Yeah.
Well, the theatrical window, thanks to COVID, has shrunk. Because, Red 1 is now streaming. And I swear Red 1 came out last week.
Yeah, it's still in theaters here. Yeah.
I know. It's still in theaters here.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And then we got, Nosferatu, and we got the little baby movie coming out the same day. What was it? Nicole Kidman, where she's with a younger man or something? Baby girl. That's it. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we can. Okay. All right. Anyway. But yeah, Baby Girl.
Yeah, Nosferatu is a family Christmas movie that everyone should go see and just be heartwarmed in the miracle of Christmas.
I think I'm going to go see it. I might do a double feature. We'll see. But what do we call it? Baby Ferratu? I don't know. Whatever it's going to be. It's like Barbenheimer, but worse.
Barbenheimer? Nice. So
like the Bob Dylan movie comes out on Christmas too, right?
Known. Yeah, the Bob Dylan movie with Timothy Chalamet, who, if the wind blows, I think shatters.
It looks like he does a really good job too. So I'm gonna have to make that my double feature. I think. Yeah.
This is the second Bob Dylan movie in 10 or 16 years. Because you remember there was I'm Not Here, where they had 7 different actors playing him in different eras. And
even
Kate Blanchett.
Who was Kate Blanchett? That's who did it. Yeah. I remember
she was nominated for an Oscar for that role.
And there was that bit where John C. Reilly played a little bit of Bob Dylan as in Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Cash. It was more John, but he did do.
No, he did. He had different eras toward the end. So they did they did a Beach Boys era. They did that kind of stuff. Yeah.
He had the weird Beatles era where he had too many musicians. Remember that? He had way too much music.
Yes,
into this one song.
That's a good movie corner pick of the week is Walk Hard because
I love
it's
Walk Hard. It is.
I don't think a lot of people know it. People that love comedies just don't know this movie. They really don't.
Yeah. Yes. Some people just. Yeah, they took it too seriously or something like, what is this? I don't get it at all. Yeah.
It was a pitch perfect comedy.
Well, speaking of, not comedy, but speaking of music, my video movie corner pick of the week is related to Christmas, of course, and it is music related. And I think you're going to find it very interesting. I don't even know if you heard of it. My video movie corner pick of the week is a Christmas movie that came out last year, and I guess it came and went because I was excited about it. I saw one little trailer online and saw it on DVD a month later, And now it's streaming on Netflix. It is a movie that came to theaters. It is about the journey to Bethlehem. It's called Journey to Bethlehem. It's the story, the nativity story. It's the story of Joseph and Mary and the birth of Jesus. But, wait a minute, there's more. It's a musical. It's a musical in the poppiest, funnest, wicked, over-the-top pop rock musical sense you can think of. This movie is
Are you serious?
I'm not making this up.
Is this real?
I had no idea. I knew it was a musical. I knew this is real. This is not a Shannon-inspired shenanigan.
Yeah.
No, I heard about this movie, and I was like, that sounds interesting. A musical version of the nativity story. And it is like sort of pop-friendly songs, and the movie has a sense of humor. Like the characters don't, it's not irreverent. And I mean, it takes some liberties with the story, which a lot of biblical movies do. And that's fine. It's nothing sacrilegious, in my opinion, at all. But they're singing these fun, poppy little numbers. Like, for instance, Antonio Banderas plays King Herod. And he's only in the movie for 30 minutes. And he is chewing that scenery up.
Are you serious?
Having a good time. He is having the best time as King Herod.
I guess my next question was,
go ahead.
Is this live action?
Yeah, live action.
Okay.
Yep. Antonio Banderas plays King Herod. He sings this great song about "It's good to be king," And at one point, you think he's going to be like, "I'm too sexy," but he doesn't. But it's great. Joseph is played by Milo Manheim, and if you don't know who that is, you may not have kids because he's the star of the Disney. He's one of the stars of the Disney movie series Zombies, which Rocket loved. Yeah, Milo Manheim.
Really?
His mom is Cameron Manheim from The Practice.
Okay.
There you go. He's kind of up and coming. He's got a good voice. He's in the movie. He's also in the horror movie Thanksgiving in the same year that Journey to Bethlehem came out.
Oh, really? That's cool.
He had a
I heard that was really
good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's much better than you think it would be. Yeah. But Journey to Bethlehem is much better too. And it's also got Christian rapper Lecrae as the angel Gabriel. Okay, this is the movie where Gabriel comes down to tell Mary the news that she's going to give birth to the King of Kings, the Savior.
As you do.
And as he comes down, he starts to psych himself in and talk himself into doing it. He's like, Mary. Like before he wakes her, he's like, you're going to have the Son of God. Mary, you're going to.
I love that.
And he hits his head on the. It's got a sense of humor. It's fun. And I think you should see Journey to Bethlehem on Netflix. It's got a few other actors that maybe you've seen, you don't know their names. The Three Wise Men are a bit Three Stooges without the physical comedy.
Okay.
There's some
not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna miss this one because I'm probably gonna forget about it. But
it's all good. It's all. But that's the thing. I don't think you should forget about it because once I saw the movie, the songs have been in my head. It is good. The songs have been in my head for weeks now.
Okay.
So. Oh, also, thanks to the movie, I found out that myrrh and frankincense were the essential oils of their day.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
There you go. Journey to Bethlehem. And that was our video movie corner pick of the week. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus, and now they're getting divorced. No.
Oh.
Okay.
That's great.
Well,
all right.
I guess before we... Whoa! Oh my gosh! Are you one of those podcasters? Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Are you one of those podcasters?
It's okay. Calm down. It's fine.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. A bunch of people broke into the building. They started podcasting. They started setting up mics. They started talking about things that they don't really know about, but they think they do. And I'm really scared. You probably want to give me a mic to help back you up.
Yes.
Nice try, Mr. Matches. I'm the leader of the podcast terrorists. Looks like you're down the drain. What's that one thing you said? Video movie corner pick of the week.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Hubbard.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Hey, before we get out of here, I got to show you my favorite Christmas thing that I bought last year. My wife, not a fan, but she lets me put it up anyway. It is the Die Hard Hans Gruber Nakatomi Plaza Advent Calendar. Each day of Christmas, you can take little Hans. Yes, you can take little Hans here, and you can send him down.
Where did you get this?
Christmas. I found it on Amazon. I was like, surely something like this exists.
And you just searched for it and you found it.
And I found it. And I got it last year for Christmas. And my wife was like, oh, good. You got a decoration.
Oh, no. It's so good, though. How can you not like that? I don't understand.
She still lets me put it up. She lets me put it up. Yeah.
Really?
And each day I pull little Hans down one other level.
Oh, little Hans. You get candy or anything? Is there anything in it? Little wine bottles?
I thought they could have. Well, I thought they could have made it more Christmassy with like some lights. Maybe, some
snow?
Something. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it exists.
Carl Winslow at the bottom.
Thank your little lucky stars. Exactly.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, have you ever heard the weird fan theory that links Carl Winslow, Al Powell together?
Oh, yeah, I have.
It's a weird fan theory. It gets a little dark. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the kid that he says earlier in the movie that he shot a kid who he thought had a gun. That kid's name was Steve Urkel. And apparently, Al gets shot, and in a coma, he imagines himself with a family in Chicago named Carl Winslow.
Makes sense. Makes perfect
Steve
sense.
Urkel is he's always pestering him because he just can't let go of it. Oh, man. Christmas is here, Matches. Are you excited?
I'm excited. My fruitcake might be burning, but I'm excited. Yeah.
Oh, no. Is that? Oh, man. So we don't have smell-o-vision. Well,
it's fine.
Out there, we hope, no matter what holiday you celebrate this year, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, for the rest of us, we hope that you have a wonderful one. And Merry Christmas to you. Are you going to have a Merry Christmas there, Matches?
I am going to have a Merry Christmas there. Thank you, Shannon. I don't know. What are we doing? Are we going? Are we staying? I don't know.
I don't know. Are we leaving? I'm not sure what's going on. I think we should probably go. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
we have this is extended special today.
Yeah, right. It's a special behind the scenes cut of we didn't know what we were doing. But we do thank you so much for watching and listening. And if they want to tell us whether or not Die Hard's a Christmas movie, how can they get a hold of us, sir?
Well, just below us here on any of our platforms, they can find us on YouTube. They can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and comment down below. Or we have an email. It's nomspodcast@gmail.com.
Nice. Well, before we get mad at the newscaster... Oh, that's great. Before we get mad at the newscaster that's broadcasting our lives all over TV and making it worse for us, and punch poor Richard Atherton in the face, who was great at playing a butt in lots of 80s films.
Yeah,
Same guy from Ghostbusters who shut the container down. That's right.
Love that guy. Absolutely do. Yeah. He's such a sleaze when he wants to be. Yeah.
Yes. Great at playing a jerk. Well, speaking of jerks, we got to get on out of here. Are you ready?
We do. It's time to hit the old dusty trail. Let's do it.
That's right. Like Santa, we got to slay all day.
Ooh, yeah. Ho, 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 you guys.
I'm going to go out like Hans Gruber.
Special effects we have are just incredible. It's great. I love it.
I know. We couldn't have done this 2 days ago.
Top notch.
Yeah. I've actually got a lot of hair and I'm a lot skinnier.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, that's it for us. We'll see you guys later.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hope you get that Tickle Me Elmo you wanted or Tickle Me Frank Stallone, whatever.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.